Baby, I run to it like you owe me, bring it back. No, it ain't my birthday, but come and make it clap. Oh, let's do it, I'm on tap. And she gon' throw this whack. Shake it, work it, twerk it, come and do it for a man. You just got your head in, I ain't tryna take the piss, but you gon' need some stick. Goddess like Alexa Bliss, baby, I'ma need that kiss. And she gon' take this, and she gon' take this pic. Baby, I'm all on your hips.
Yeah, what is crack-a-lacking, what's pop-a-lopping, what is dropping? That is not my YouTube intro. Apparently you have to go into all YouTube intros speaking as fast as you can, so what I'm going to do is start speaking as fast as I can. So hi guys, welcome to YouTube, welcome to my thing, welcome to my channel, welcome to Twitch, welcome to whatever. This is a I don't know how I'm going to be having energy for that type of thing. Look at me shouting and screaming already. You see what I'm on? Yeah, what's going on? Hopefully you lot are alright. As you can see, I'm still like kind of half doing stuff in the background because I'm an idiot, but what can I say? I hope you lot are having a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, whenever the hell you see this. If you're live, then you know what time it is. I don't need to tell you that myself. And I am back with another episode. So I took a week off, basically. Shout out to Mr. Mawan as well. Hopefully he'll be here very soon. I actually need to send him the invite, which I'm purposely not doing as of right now, just because I want to do my little intro quickly. But he will be here very shortly, soon, hopefully. So shout out to him. And yeah, no, I took kind of like a week off. I didn't plan to initially take a week off, but just with the way the schedules fell, and then also I kind of just like, I haven't been doing a lot of promoting as well as I've been working on the new things that I've been doing. I haven't actually been promoting it as much, if that makes sense. So I just thought it's probably a bit healthier to maybe just take some time and just like maybe just make sure you got your clips sorted, make sure your clips are going where they need to go type shit. Sorry, just testing the mic. I'm making sure this is the right one. I need to go that way. Yeah, just making sure. I never get this mic placement right. It's a bit wild. Still, I can't lie. But yeah, just making sure everything's all right. Making sure everything's okay. Do you know what I'm saying? And then making sure everything is actually kind of promoted. So I've still been kind of terrible, but I'm going to get on the Instas and do all the little promo and just make sure all the little clips and stuff are out. So if you've been supporting in any capacity, just know that I appreciate you, that I love you very much. And yeah, so it's been a pretty cool week for me. I've just kind of rechanged my schedule entirely, so I'm been doing things a little bit differently, working pretty hard, which I'm actually kind of enjoying at the moment. So I think that's kind of the key to life. Once you start enjoying like actually working hard, then you see you get a bit further in terms of where you're trying to go. I haven't what did I do? I think I ended up recording a verse last week. I ended up finishing the project pretty much, so I've got my newest single coming out on the 11th of May, basically, which should be very fun, which should be very entertaining, which should be very cool stuff. So yeah, that was actually originally supposed to come out a little bit earlier, but for reasons I obviously had to get pushed back a little bit. So we make it work same way. Do you know what I'm saying? We make it happen, we make it pop. But yeah, here we are, and we're active. So I'm still trying to multitask because I'm an idiot, but yeah, there we go. Get me brain training. It's like brain training. So yeah, new single out May 13th. I ain't gonna play too much of it or do none of that type of stuff because I've actually put it about in certain areas already. So if you've seen it, you've seen it. If you've seen any of the recent little edits that I dropped in regards to a little fashion shoot stuff that I did, then you would have heard little bits of the song. But the full song will be out on May the 11th, and then followed up by a couple. I got singles loaded, locked and loaded. Everything's ready to go. You see me? You see it? Since man's on that topic. So yeah, should be very fun, very entertaining, a little bit different from what I usually do. But who's out there fucking robbing cars? When does what I usually do not be that different, if that kind of makes sense? Like I'm always going for a different little genre and them thing there. Bro, who's out there busting car windows and Jasmine Sullivan bust the windows at your car? Relax, I'm trying to do something. So yeah, I've got singles loaded up, so I'm not gonna get. Actually, no, I probably will talk about it. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna release a single, Super Free, out May the 11th. 2 weeks after that, you'll get another single. Which one it would be, I think I know which one it would be, but I will still decide. After that, you'll probably get one more little single, a little something, maybe a little light visual in between, and then we get the full project. So I got a little rollout coming. I wouldn't call it a rollout. I'd just say I'm releasing some stuff, but we're gonna keep the ball rolling with that. Do you know what I'm saying? We're gonna push. It's just a hard battle when you don't want to be on social media at all, but then also you kind of still have to like make sure you promote your stuff, because to me, I don't know, it seems redundant to do that. And then not that you have to be on social media, but it seems a little bit redundant to like work this hard on stuff and kind of whatever, and then just not do anything in regards to that. But what I will say is I do feel like it kind of helps in regards to just being happier with the craft. Do you know what I'm saying? Being happier with what you're doing in general. If you're not happy with what you're doing, if you're not taking your time out with what you're doing, then none of it's going to come off the right way. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's probably better that way. We should be healthy. We should be lovely. So, yeah, we'll keep the ball rolling. We'll see how that goes. Should be very fun, hopefully. And yeah, all that type of good stuff. We keep the ball massively rolling. I'm trying to find something right about now, but I can't seem to find it, which is getting on my nerves. That's because I've gone to the wrong place as well, because I can't really multitask. But yeah, other than that, hope you lot are having a good week, looking after yourself. One thing I do want to say as well is just like what I want to start trying to do is just having a little more random hot takes on certain things. You know what I'm saying? One of the hot takes I wanna kind of go over is just like protecting your peace. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's something I talk about consistently anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? It's nothing new. It's nothing that's like, you know, all right, you know, Keon's always going to talk about protecting his peace. I've just said my real name. Kish is always going to talk about protecting his peace. But I don't know. It's just something that's important. And it's not so much about protecting your peace. It's just about the journey that you're on. And I don't know. I just feel like what I'd like to put out there is, again, people gotta love you enough to let you go sometimes, or to know that you're doing what you want to try and be doing. Do you know what I'm saying? And one thing that I've noticed over the last like year or so, I've been a lot more strict in just having conversations about certain things, just in regards to how I feel about where I'm at, and also kind of how much I make myself accessible for certain things, but then, you know, just kind of people's responses to that. And I've just found it super interesting because I feel like it makes let's just put it this way, it makes a massive difference, or not massive difference, put it this way, you'll see who's happy for you and who's not. Do you know what I'm saying? In regards to you trying to go on your journeys. And I feel like it's quite an interesting thing. There's stuff you still got to take into consideration, because what happens with me is once I get tunnel vision with one thing, I just kind of get tunnel vision and just go full steam ahead. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not so much about not knowing how to be a human being, which kind of I can forget sometimes when I'm working. I don't mean to be like that, but it's just like, if I've got 5 million things to do in my real everyday life, then I can't be super accessible. When I used to try and do both, where it's like I'm trying to be accessible to people, I'm trying to make sure I got all these things in my life sorted out, I find myself just coming very short in different areas. So what I'm trying to do now is just focus entirely on certain things, and also just kind of be a little bit selfish, which I think is okay to do at a lot of times. I know a lot of people have done that in their lives, and I've never been one to really get too salty about that, just because I know that nobody really owes me anything, if that kind of makes any sense. So what I have found interesting is, since I've been on this kind of journey of just like, you know what, I'm gonna really kind of set my boundaries and try and work on myself, and that doesn't mean I'm perfect in any degree, but what I've learned is 2 things. One, people will project their things onto you a lot. You'd be surprised at how many times or how many issues that people have, that once you're kind of in a swirl about stuff and dealing with life from here, there, this angle, that angle, you'd be surprised at how much sometimes you can find yourself getting caught up in situations. And even if you're not, it's just natural life. When you're around people, when you have conversations, you're naturally going to clash on different things. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is, since I've been a lot more kind of focusing on myself and trying to, you know, work on my peace a lot more, you realize how much a lot of projection comes from people's own levels of uncomfortableness about where they're at, and how much you might have even been doing that yourself from before in certain areas. So while I still don't feel like I'm totally the most guilty, just because I kind of go a little bit reclusive, at the same time, it definitely works in a particular way where it's like you start realizing that, like, oh no, it's hard to articulate without going into examples, which I'm not going to do because I love people, innit? And whenever you start talking about certain things, people think you hate them. But obviously I'm always going to speak my truth on, you know, my little channel, or doing what I'm going to do. And I don't know, I've just noticed like a lot of different reactions that usually fall onto either side of a fence. Do you know what I'm saying? You get the people that usually take what you've got to say. They don't mind it so much. They don't take it too personally, especially when you make it clear, like, look, this is what I've got going on. This is not what I may be able to offer, but I guess this is what I expect in the level of where we're at as friends, as individuals, or so on and so forth. Do you know what I'm saying? And you see a lot of the responses. Do you know how much people I've just like borderline, I wouldn't say fallen out with, but as the usual, people don't really communicate things. I'm always going to communicate, and it makes people kind of uncomfortable. But do you know how much people I realize are just like, I just don't feel like I'm cool with anymore, off of the back of me maybe having a conversation about just like, look, like, there's certain levels of personal stuff that go on between us or whatever the case might be. But I'm working on myself now, whether that's, I expect a level of just kind of like, not reciprocation, but kind of like an understanding of like the same way that I show people love when I'm talking to them, checking out what they got going on and doing stuff. It's just the same way it has to work. And I think sometimes people see my name online. Some people know who I am. Some people don't care who I am. So it's a funny like little juxtaposition thing. But a lot of people will kind of make assumptions about where you're at, if that makes sense, and whether they need to do certain things. And we're all grinding out here, man. We're all pushing. I ain't famous. I'm not. I'm all doing this stuff independently still and certain things like that. So, whenever you talk about this, it always sounds like you're saying, no, people have to support my work, otherwise I can't be friends with you. No, that's not what it is, but just know what our relationships are. And that's what my boundaries are. Do you know what I'm saying? What I don't appreciate is people just doing this thing like where they'll speak to me about my music to just make casual conversation, even though they don't care about any of that. And it's just kind of like you don't have to care, that's perfectly fine, but don't use that as a way to start talking about personal things with me, because to me that feels just a bit disingenuous. But then also, as I said, like when I take my time out, it doesn't mean that I can't be reminded or I can't be a bit better at just understanding to be, put yourself out there still. Don't shun yourself away from people or do certain things like that. The thing that I make clear is that like a lot of my work is online and it's very visible for people to see. It doesn't mean that you have to engage or love it, but when people act like they have no idea what I've got going on or so on and so forth, it just makes me a bit confused. It's just like, this doesn't even make much sense to me. Like, you lot can see, it's not like I've been quietly working in a factory somewhere for 6 months where it's like you ain't seeing nothing. So it's like, why would you? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like I see it, and I hate the way that people gaslight it. Do you know what I'm saying? In the sense of I'll work on certain things, do certain things, put stuff out there. Like I said it to my one on one of the shows a couple of weeks back. It's like I used to notice it with like women that I'm seeing and stuff, where it's like there's certain men that are texting your phone. Like literally, like man won't like any of my posts for 4, 5, 6, 7 posts, but then text me on some, yo, when can I come to your yard? Let's do some studio thing. Which is fine, I guess, to a point. Like, it's still just a bit like, all right, cool, I see. We're just going to go through the personal channels. But then also, it's kind of like, yo, like, the amount of times that, like, I will see the person that I'm seeing post something, and then within 5 seconds, I'm seeing certain names liking those photos that, again, I've never, ever complained or gone to them and been like, yo, that's kind of strange. I've made my comments to the person that I've been seeing at the time. But to me, it's just kind of a bit like, damn, like, is the tun that good that it makes man them just like forget their kind of, you know what I'm saying? And then all you get the usual like, I'm not online that much, but then every time I go online I see man them. I'm somebody who don't be online that much, and even then I still know that it's a pretty decent amount. Do you know what I'm saying? But I make active, considerate decisions to not be online in a certain type of way sometimes, or just active on social media, should I say. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I find it quite interesting. But what I will say is, it's not so much that like anyone's right or wrong. I'm not trying to sit here and say these people are wrong for not supporting this, or this is what might be the case or what might not be the case. But what I will say is, I just feel like you'll often see when people are happy to see you progress. You know what I'm saying? I've been in many relationships, so I've said that to somebody, like I've said that to people, where it's like, you know what, like I love you enough to actually let you go and do what you need to go and do, whatever that may be. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I recognize how, if my love for you only extends to what you're offering me, then that's not real love. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not asking everyone to be in love with Mr. Fantastic. I understand that. But what I'm saying is that still trickles down and applies in different areas. Do you know what I'm saying? If you love somebody enough, you'll understand when sometimes man are going through levels of like, you know what, I'm working on my craft. And if you see them working on their craft, just support that. Do you know what I'm saying? How's it going? If it's not stuff, or if it's public stuff that you're seeing online, then just like maybe, you just give it a little, a level of support. You ain't got to be putting it in your stories, doing all that type of stuff. I'm a bit older as well, so it's like I recognize my demographic of like age group isn't necessarily going online anymore and just posting stuff just to post stuff. But also, as I said, I just feel like it's very, like, you can't beat genuineness. I always say this, and it's like you'll often see when people are with you on your journeys, when they actually want to be around you and do certain things, and then you'll often kind of like, you will notice when a lot of things are primarily transactional. Do you know what I'm saying? My boy Marwan just joined. Appreciate you, sir. But yeah, you'll often see when that's the kind of case. So it's not so much like protect your peace, I guess, in a certain type of way, but also just be careful with that. Because as I said, like, it's not hard. Do you know what I'm saying? Even the person that I'm doing the show with and certain things like that, part of the reason why we have such a good relationship is just because he's been so consistently like he just shows man love. Don't ask me for nothing. It's not all this transactional weird stuff. It's not all this whatever. And that applies to many other people as well. I wouldn't say many, but I'd say quite a few other people that you see me still rocking with. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like you often see what side of the fence people fall on a lot of the time when it comes to that kind of thing. Because yeah, man, like you can't, when you're hungry, you'll eat, man. And I'm tired of people doing this weird stuff where it's like they'll just kind of gaslight you into the whole like, oh no, there's been no way I've been able to pay attention or something. No, you don't have to be on my thing every 5 seconds. You don't have to be all up on what I'm doing or care that much or anything like that. But again, you notice the difference between people that will just stop chatting to you because you might express how you feel about certain things, or people that will still check in every month. And I don't mean checking with me personally. It's just more like see the work, see, oh yeah, that's cool, and so on and so forth, vice versa. Do you know what I'm saying? Because when I was at the height of my shit, I was doing that way too much. Way too much for people. Do you know what I'm saying? Keep it like making sure I'm seeing what and again, it's just testament to characters, because like I said, I'm not saying that's the right way to go about it, but I just say protect yourself, you know what I'm saying, in a certain type of way. So yes, absolutely wonderful. I'm gonna get my boy on because I've been I told him I was gonna be on pretty much like 1/4 past, and even though I have been doing my little thing, I want to make sure that he is active and ready. But while I set this up real quick, you get me, I'm gonna be an idiot and play something because I need to do something real quick. So
baby, I run to it like you owe me, bring it back. No, it ain't my birthday, but come and make it clap. Oh, let's do it, I'm on tap. And she gon' throw this whack. Shake it, work it, twerk it, come and do it for a man. You just got your head in, I ain't tryna take the piss, but you gon' need some shtick. Goddess like Alexa Bliss, baby, I'ma need that kiss. And she gon' take this, and she gon' take this pic, baby, I'm all on your hips. Like Bennett.